In this video, we'll be going over the full process of successfully rock mining in Star Citizen. Whether you're just getting started or need a refresher on how this game loop works, this guide is for you. Now, a lot has changed since my last ultimate rock mining guide. Man, last one I did was about a year ago. So we'll be going over a few topics like the things that you'll need to get started, the best moons to get started on, the rock mining flow explained, and the rock mining process in action. But before we get into it, these types of videos / guides do take some time to make, so it would be awesome if you hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel. We're aiming to hit our 6,000 subscribers milestone soon, and just like in the past, we're going to be giving away a couple of ships to celebrate and to give back for all of your awesome support. With all of that out of the way, let's get into it. One of the first things that you're gonna need to get started are funds, in our case roughly about 80,000 UEC. This will allow us to rent the Great Cat Rock for 2,598 UEC. Now, rock mining is best done with a medium ship. I have a playlist in which we tested the best medium ship / rock combinations. It is a bit outdated, but I think some of those ships still stand at the top as the best in the rock mining business. I'll leave a link in the description below. If you don't have a medium or large ship in which you can fit the rock, no worries. You can rent the Cutlass Black for about 52,120 UEC. And finally, you'll need a max lift tractor beam. You can go the cheaper route with a multi-tool and its tractor beam attachment, but I prefer the max lift personally, because who doesn't like to max out on all things in life? Now, this next one is completely optional, the rock mining ore pods. This will cost you about 5,000 per pod, but this will allow you to swap out the bags once you fill up, which will allow you to maximize your profits if you're planning on going on a long rock mining expedition without having to go back and forth in between the moons and stations. And finally, you'll need that green protein because you gotta stay fit, y'all feel me? The best moons to get started on are Aberdeen, Ariel, Daymar, and an honorary mention, Magda. These are my top 3/4. If you're interested in all the pros and cons of each of these moons, I have a video that covers it, so make sure you check it out. If you're completely new to rock mining, this will all make sense in the next section of this video. When rock mining, once you have everything that we described above, you head to your hangar and retrieve your Great Cat Rock. Once retrieved, you put it in the ship and head over to your preferred moon. Once you're there, you head to the area in which you are going to start mining, usually OM1. You use the ship to scan, and once you find a good cluster, you land and drive the rock off the ship. You mine, extract the resources, go back to the mining post or TDD and sell. That is rock mining in a nutshell. Well, that's it. That is all you need to know. See you guys in the next video. Just kidding, just kidding. Some peeps fell for this one last time. But now that you have an idea of what rock mining consists of, let's go over this whole process in more detail and in action. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find a mining facility or station. I call them mining facilities. We're already at one, but let me show you what that looks like. As of right now, every planet has 2 of them, one on the left and one on the right. Right now we're at the Green Glade station right outside of Hurston. And if we go to Microtech, you'll see that it's pretty much the same thing. We have MIC L1 here and then MIC L2 here. So once you get to the station, you're gonna want to head down to the lobby. So let's go to the lobby real quick. So once you're in the lobby, the first thing you're gonna want to do is set your spawn in the medical clinic. Every station is structured differently, so you're just gonna have to find it. But once you do, you want to walk past the reception and find these screens right here, and it should say regeneration. And you should see an option here to transfer your imprint or whatever they call it. I already did mine, so that's why you're not seeing the option here. So once that's done, we want to go ahead and start looking for the elevators. The elevators will take us to the refining area. So let's see, let's look for them real quick. There they are, elevators. They pretty much look the same in every station. Once you're in, just look for refinery. There you go. This is where we're going to be able to get all the equipment that we need to start rock mining. So just make your way down here and then you'll see this area, and it's called Mining Support Center. So let's go in here, and you want to make your way down until you see these screens right here that say Vantage Rentals. So let's open this up. and let's look for the Great Cat Rock. It's the first one, 2,598. So I already own one, but we're gonna go ahead and rent it for the purpose of this video, just so I can show you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and rent ship. Rent ship. It's a vehicle, but it's fine. Got it. And then we want to rent the Cutlass Black, so we're gonna do that for 1 day as well. Rent ship, confirm rental. This might seem a lot whenever you're starting out or if you're new, but trust me, you'll make that back in one run. So now that we have our vehicles, let's head over to this computer right here, refinery shop, and you're gonna want to search for max lift. You see it right here, it's gonna be 19,000. I already have one. I actually have several of them, and like I said, this next one is optional. That's gonna be the Great Cat Rock ore pod, but for the purpose of this video, again, we're gonna go ahead and get one. So quick buy. There you go. And finally, you're gonna want to get some of that green protein. This will help you keep your hunger and thirst under control. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get like 20 of them. Now that we bought everything that we need, let's go back to our hangar. Once you get to your hangar, go to the storage axis and make sure you retrieve all of your drinks, all of your protein right here. There you go. Put it in your bag. And we'll get the ore pods through the freight elevator. Now go to the fleet manager and look for your Great Cat Rock right here. See, this is the one I own. Now that became number 2, but that's just temporary. So let's go ahead and deliver, request delivery, and retrieve. Make sure you do retrieve the Great Cat Rock first, and then you do the ship. And there it is, the Great Cat Rock. Let's get in. You want to power it up with the U key, and then press I for the engines. And let's just park it over here to the side. Put it on reverse. There you go. This is perfect as long as you are behind that yellow line right there. This one, to be precise. So let's power it down and get out of the vehicle. And sometimes the Great Cat Rock will act funny, just like it did right now. Now that you've parked it on the side, let's come over here to this screen right here. That's a fleet manager screen as well. And then let's look for the Drake Cutlass Black, and here it is. So let's deliver and retrieve. Man, look at that. It's been a minute. You know, the Cutlass Black was my first upgrade from the starter pack because I started with the Avenger Titan. I have some good memories with this ship. Okay, now that we have the ship and the vehicle out, let's come over here to the freight elevator. You're gonna have to lower it in order to interact with the pod. Once it's lowered, just move it to the left and then raise the elevator. And there it is. You're gonna want to take out your max lift. I think it's 4. Nope, it's not 4. It's 3. Nope, it's not 3. Actually, 2? Yes, it's 2. Forgot there. All right, so let's pick it up and take it to the ship. Let's set it down so we can open up the ramp, or lower the ramp. There it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, what happened there? Uh-oh. I hope our ROC is able to make it in. So let's load this up first. We can just put it to the side. We'll put it right here, or let's make sure that it like attaches to the floor. There it is. That's fine. Now let's come get the Great Cat Rock. I sure hope that this makes it. I mean, it should. It's not that. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Look at that. Nice. Very nice. I think this should be good. Let's move it forward a little so I'm able to walk by. Awesome, nice. Look at this. Looks really good. Once this is in, you're gonna want to come over here and close the ramp. Now it's time to head out. Let's get in the pilot seat. Perfect. And let's request takeoff. Alt N. Let's power this thing up with the U key and then turn the engines on. Landing gear up. Yes. Let's do this now. Let's look for the moon that we're gonna go and rock mine. For this video, we're gonna be going to Ariel. So let's type Ariel. There it is. Perfect. And now let's go ahead and set the route. Let's spool, and we are ready to go. Did they add this little fan? Man, I don't recall seeing this. And here we are, Ariel. Once you're here, you're gonna want to look for OM1. There it is. And once you make it to OM1, just start making your way down to the moon. Once you get close enough to the ground at about 3 or 5, you want to start scanning. So we're gonna hit tab and see what we get. Also, I like to always head towards the sun. I treat it as my true north. Let's just keep scanning until we get like a signature of about 3,000-ish. Anything above that, like these right here, are usually like the big prospector mining rocks or ores, and I'm gonna prove that to you. So let's just come check this one out real quick. And as you can see, yeah, these are prospector minables. So let's just keep scanning until we see that magic signature, and there it is. This one just popped out of nowhere, 2 point something when it popped up. So these are definitely gems. Let's get closer, and there they are. Let's see now, what are they? Baradam, not the best, in fact one of the worst, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna still go down there and mine it. So you want to go ahead and land next to it. Right here should be fine. There you go. Perfect. And once you do, make sure you turn your engines off. If not, your ship is gonna blow away. Let's bring down the ramp and let's take out the rock. As you can see, I am not wearing the right equipment, the right armor for this. 91 Celsius, and that's why you see that blinking. Not covering it in this video because I don't think it's substantial enough for us to, you know, take the time to go over it. All right, so once you are in front of the gems, you want to go ahead and press M to go into mining mode. Make sure you are in optimal range. It's displayed here on the left side, so like right there is perfect. Want to hit Alt and left mouse button. Once you're ready, just hit the left mouse button to start mining. You are going to want to increase the power though, so you want to hold left Alt and then with the mouse wheel just start increasing it, and there it is, it's going up. Back in the day, the optimal window right there was brutal, but now it's way easier. So you want to make sure that you stay within the green zone. Stay within the green zone by the time that it fills up. If not, it will explode. And there it is. Once you do that, once the gems just break, you want to go ahead and press Alt, left Alt, and click the left mouse button to switch to extraction. Once you're in extraction mode, you hit the left mouse button again to extract, and there it is. If you don't know where the gems are at, you can scan and they'll show you where they're at. So this one's right here. There it is. Got it. So let's move on to the next one. Let's go back to fracture mode and do the same thing with this one. Let's increase that power until it hits that green zone, and there it is. Extraction mode. As you can see, I can hit scan and they'll show you where they're at. Perfect. Back in the day, extracting was a pain. Rock mining has definitely come a long way, and it's pretty much going to be rinse and repeat. So let's go back to fracture mode and then power it on. Let's get to that green zone and let's stay within that window. Awesome. Now extract. Boom. And you can see how much CSEU you have in your pod. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the rest, and I'll see you guys once I've scooped it all up. We're on the last one of this cluster. Almost there. There it is. And extract. So let's get out of mining mode and let's see if we can find one good cluster, and then we'll move on to the process of selling it. So let's drive this back into the ship, and once we're down here mining, I usually just leave the ramp open, and I'll show you why in a few. All right, let's continue scanning. And using the sun as your true north just helps you from going around in circles. And there is another one. It popped out at 2.2, and I really hope that it's something good. We got some glycosite, not the best, but definitely better than the last one. So let's land right next to it, and the reason why I leave my ramp down once we're down here is so I can use it as a reference. As you can see right there, it's not touching the ground, so we want to find like a better spot to land. So I think if we just move this way, we should be fine. Nope, not good enough. Let's move this way. I mean, I guess that's better, or maybe it's just the ramp, but you get the point. I use the ramp as a reference point to make sure that I'll be able to drive the rock off the ship and back into the ship. All right, let's get to it. Take this baby out. Oh shoot, I'm hitting everything. Sometimes some gems will be bugged, like for example here we ran into a bug. These are bugged out. As you can see, they are not highlighted, but if we move on to these are definitely good to go. All right, let's get to it, and there it is. Let's extract, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. This is a super chill game loop. Like, you can just sit back, put some tunes on, and just listen to music while you just rock mine to your heart's content. Awesome. So we're gonna extract, and then we're gonna take care of the rest, actually just 2. So I will see you guys once we are done here, so we can go ahead and sell. And that's the last one, extraction mode. And we got them all. It's unfortunate that the rest are bugged. Okay, let's drive this back in. Now, if you ran into the situation where you filled up your cargo, your ore pod, and you brought a second one with you or several with you, you would want to swap those out. But in order to do that, you have to like unlock the clamp. I don't know how you call it here, but it's right Alt and K. Unfortunately, there isn't a really good like visual or like audible cue to it, but it should be unlocked now. So let's get out of the Great Cat Rock and come over to the back. So you want to hit deploy and then take out your max lift, and if it did unclamp, you should be able to see it highlighted. If you didn't, then the whole vehicle will be highlighted. So let's take it out. There it is. And then let's just set it, let's see, let's set it right there. Perfect. Then you would grab the other one, in this case this one right here, the empty one, and then just put it right back on. Oh yeah, come on, what's going on? Hold up. Oh, misaligned, my bad. There you go. Let's rotate it. Okay, I am confused now. How is this misaligned? Okay, hold up. Okay, there it is. Perfect. Now it works. And there it is. Sorry about that. I had to go through some troubleshooting. But hey, this is Star Citizen. Sometimes you will run into stuff like that. So you just have to figure out how and then ask why. Okay, so let's close this and then head back to the station.
1 day later.
So when we got to the station, we put the ore pod in the freight elevator and it disappeared, which seems to be the case with the freight elevator from time to time. So I had to go back to aerial and mine again. And this is why you see me making my way down into Lorville, because this time I just didn't want to take a chance. So we're gonna go down there to sell all our stuff in the TDD, and we made it. So in order to sell, we had to take the ore pod off of the Great Cat Rock and put it in the freight elevator, as I mentioned earlier. So you want to get into the Great Cat Rock real quick, and then you want to hit right Alt K, and you should be able now to pull it out. Let's see. There you go. Perfect. Now let's take this to the freight elevator, and I'm hoping that it works this time. Let's set it down right here. Perfect. Now let's come over here. We want to go ahead and lower it. Oh my, I have several of them. It's this one right here. So let's move it back real quick. Let's open it up, and then let's move this beautiful feminine into the warehouse. And let's exit out of this, and we can go ahead and just put this back in here. The beauty about doing this second run, or just the second try, we were able to find a better cluster of gems, feminine. So we are definitely gonna make our money back, because we spent about what, 80,000 in between renting the Great Cat Rock and also the Cutlass Black. So let's go ahead and store it, and let's go to the lobby. Oh geez, what happened here? That's quite a scene to walk into. Oh my god, it's just all over the place. All right, let's head over to the TDD. Lorville by far has the best looking TDD. Like, look at this. This looks so freaking good. This whole area is actually the headquarters, not the TDD. The TDD is here on the left. Okay, so we are finally here. They also have like the best looking screens. Look at the aesthetics of this. So let's select the location. It should be in Lorville. And look at this, feminine, 829 units, and it's also in demand. And we only spent about 60,000 because I already had the max lift. Like I said, you make your investment back in one run and more. So let's go ahead and sell. Come on, Hurston, you need to fix your servers, man. So at the time of this recording, it seems like selling ores at the kiosk is currently bugged. That's why we haven't been able to sell. But in general, this is a process that you would take in order to sell your gems. You can either go to the station or the TDD to sell. And just like I said in the last rock mining guide, you'll get a lot more efficient at this and will be able to make more per hour as you rinse and repeat. I know it took me a while. Lots of crashing, lots of rocks exploding in my face, and tons of inventory lost. But this pretty much wraps up the rock mining process, and I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the rock mining loop in Star Citizen? What's your main focus while doing this? Just to chill, make profits, or both? I tend to go for both. It's a chill game loop that allows me to make profits. Now, if you found this helpful or entertaining, make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Star Citizen content like this and other shenanigans. I will see you guys in the next one. Captain Zerhaze out.